Puffy, man, his baby mama Misa and Mary J. Blige. During the whole East Coast West Coast beef, they was coming out to LA, they was hanging out with Tupac and Suge Knight. Did the word ever get back to y'all that they was in LA hanging out with Death Row? Because they say Suge he was messing around with Misa and Tupac he was messing around with Mary J. Blige. So did the word ever get back to y'all that they was in LA hanging out with Tupac and Suge Knight? Did y'all know at that time?
Do we know at the time? Well, I guess you knew they were out there. Suge was trying to straighten out some things for Jodeci and Mary because Andre Harrell and them, like they do all their artists, they was robbing them. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't getting no points, I guess they publishing their points and all that shit. They wasn't making no money on the albums and shit like that. You know, they had that. What Puff said, they had that Sony and that Arista deal for some people. The record company take 50% of your publishing, you only got 50% left. Then the producer gets 26 or 21%. Then the engineers get this and this get that. When you left on the publishing, you might get 5% or a couple of percent on your whole album and not even getting nothing, getting 1% if you're getting that. So Suge was straightening out some things for Jodeci and Mary. So they start hanging out there with the person that was trying to put food in their mouth. You understand? Puff wasn't taking care of Misa like she was supposed to, as far as with Justin at the time. And she had to be out there to work and do what she needed to do too. I just know they had some effed up contracts or somebody wasn't taking care of their kid, so they had to go find a way to eat.
I seen an interview, man. Faith Evans, she did this like some years ago, man. It was a Biggie documentary called "The Life of Notorious B.I.G." that was on A&E, and she said that she went to L.A. because she was having some issues with Biggie and Puffy. That's the reason why she went to L.A. And she said she wasn't making no money, so she went to L.A. for she can do some collabs and make some money or whatever, and write some songs for some people and make money. So this is the thing, man. By listening to you and some of the interviews I did in the past with people, it seems like when they would get mad at Puffy and Biggie, they would go to LA and they would mess around with their enemies, which was Suge Knight and Tupac. Because that's not a coincidence, man, that all three women they had issues with Puffy or Biggie or whatever, and they just happened to be in LA hanging out with Tupac and Suge.
Cleopatra messed around with Mark Anthony. Delilah messed around with Samson. You had Helena Troy. You understand? She messed around. Launched 1,000 ships. Men will go to war over some pussy. So it's 9 times out of 10, you're always gonna find a woman in the middle of a lot of shit. Or a nigga with some woman tendencies. So, with that said, you're gonna expect women to do things to rile up men that they really like, love, or they cross them. If they use that as an avenue, a lot of people got hurt behind it.
Puffy, man, you was actually around Puffy when he found out that Suge was messing around with his baby mama Misa, right? Because he seen a picture of Misa with Suge Knight, right?
Yeah, it was one time when we were leaving the club or we were coming from the club. We were coming from the club on our way home or whatever like that. But Wolf had met up with us, and he had a magazine. I don't know if it was a promotional magazine. I don't know if it was something that Death Row was using for their artists or something. But it had a picture of Misa, and Justin was a baby. And Misa had Justin in her arm, and Suge had his arm around Misa. And it said, the title said, "What the East Coast won't take care of, the West Coast will." And Puff almost blew a vein in his neck behind that shit. That shit was crazy. And I think that we were supposed to go in, and we just stayed out. Just the nigga couldn't, he couldn't stand still. He was just so mad behind that shit. Almost bust had an aneurysm.
Biggie, man, Little Kim and Biggie. What's the issue between the two? Because I know she felt the type of way about him and Faith, but I remember a long time ago she did an interview and she said he used to put his hands on her. And I remember seeing an interview from Jermaine Dupri. He did an interview with Drink Champs and he said the same thing. But from your point of view, how's their relationship like?
I really don't even know, bro. I couldn't tell you. I just knew that it's two incidents that I seen Big jealous of other dudes showing interest in Lil Kim. You understand? One night we was on tour and Lil Kim went out with Jodeci, Trex. She went out with them. And Big threw off the tour bus behind that shit. So she had to be on the bus with Total and the rest, Total and them, yeah. You know what I mean? Because Big threw her off the bus. You know what I'm saying? That's the time she told Lil C, if you open up your mouth, I'm gonna fuck you up. And Lil C was quiet as a church mouse. Kim was straight gangster. For real, her little ass, she was gangster. And then the other time is that Big was upset. And that's what he told me. He told me, say, yo, man, I'm getting rid of the whole Junior Mafia. Or I'm keeping Lil Kim and C's. Everybody else gonna have to show me something different. And, you know, everybody else gonna have to show me something different. You know what I'm saying? Or show me that they want to work for their position, their spot. You know what I'm saying? I got niggas in here, like Money L, he don't know I know he fucking Lil Kim. You understand? And I gotta look out for, you know, all this shit. I'm like, yo, word? Nigga, what you worrying about what we fucking know? Ain't you hitting everything that's moving? You got a wife or whatever? So he was like, no, man, I'm just saying. He told me that. Straight out of his mouth. He don't think I know. That's what he said. I'm like, oh, wow.